last class we had spoken about arrays. We had seen like how does it work. We have seen the syntaxes as well of I mean to say arrays, and then how loops works in array. If we have to retrieve each element, then we have to run a loop. How those loops, so that also we have seen. Okay, now certain things today we will see. Like for example, we can declare array in this way also. We can initialize array in this way also. So if you want to declare an array, then you can declare something like this using the declare keyword. Okay, a space and then the name of the array which you want. If you want to initialize, then you can do this way also. You can mention the elements that should contain in the array, then this operator, assignment operator, and then the array name. Now one thing you have to remember is that there should not be space between this assignment and the bracket. Okay, otherwise you will be getting errors. Okay, then if you want to access elements also of a particular index, so it's quite easy. You have the echo command dollar, as we have done for the arrays. Inside these curly braces we have the name of the array, and then we have to specify the index that we want to I mean to say locate the element. Okay, so accordingly we can do that. So certain examples are here, so I have already tried them out today. So accordingly you can also check, and let's see. So we'll go a little bit slow. Okay, so these are the files which are created. Which was the first one? I think this one. Yes, this is the one. So I've done exactly the way it has been written here in the file, so that there is no confusion. So we have taken declared, let's say, an array with name, and then we have initialized the array with four elements, and we are printing the second element. Okay. So accordingly, if we do this, so which element will be printed here? Suzanne, isn't it? Because 0 1 2, so the indexing is second, so it is Suzanne. Okay, so this I'll not run because it's quite simple. Let us do the same kind with the loop. Okay, now let's say for example I want to access some elements, okay, using a for loop. Okay, so so how we have written the program here? So we have declared an array, but directly when it is declared, I have initialized as well. Okay, so these are the elements which I have initialized for the array. Now, if I want to print each of the elements, so I have to write three times, isn't it? The echo statement. Okay, with the indexing. So for three items in the cell, it is okay. But if there, let's say the array contains 10 items, 20 items, then writing this kind of code is very inefficient. So we have to look that how we can make the program more efficient, okay, in terms of various resource consumption. So similarly here, so I run for loop. So for I in, okay, so in up till when it will be running, it will be iterating air at the rate. So this I have already specified. What does it mean? What does this mean? That means still it doesn't exhaust the end of the you can say cell of the array, so it will be iterating. So inside the do done keyword or command, it will just display the elements which are there in the array. So this was array 4. Let us see whether I wrote the code. So I'd already written it earlier. So this is how we are doing. Now I want to run this one or execute, I can say. Okay, so this thing, whatever was the element that was taken, so that is being executed. I think it's quite simple to understand also. Then append elements to the batch. So whenever we want to append the elements, that means I have an array already. Okay, but I want to append another element to the array. Like for example, I have bash, I have shell, I have script, isn't it? I want to append tutorial also. So what do I do? Then in that case, I will be using this operator plus equal to operator. Okay, so this is already there. So I need not make any kind of modification. So what will be there? The same array will be taken here. If it's air here, you also have to put air. Now in here, I did not put tutorial item here. So what I will do, I have to append add this one here. So what I'll do, I'll have to do in this way. In place of assignment, I have to put plus assignment. Then I have to write the item. So when the loop will iterate, what will happen is that it will pick one by one bash, shell, and script. But at the end of the, you can say, the element, it should have finished with script, right? But since we have appended one more item tutorial, so it will be added at the end of the array. Okay. So let us check how will it be done. So the same thing only I have written. So I'll execute. I'm not writing that chmod command because already execution I've done. I've checked it already. So that's why for me it's not required. I think array 5, no? Or 6, I forgot. I think 6. Sorry, it's 5. Okay, so we have bash, we have shell, we have script, but then tutorial also has been added. Okay, so this is certain operations. Then if I want to find like how many total elements are there, okay, then I can use everything is same, but just then inside, I think this we already spoke, no, how we can display the total elements which are present in the array. So I have to write inside the curly braces hash. So hash will basically give a numeric return. Okay, so okay, so three elements are there. So if I want to count how many elements are there, what I have to do inside these curly braces, I have to put hash air, the name of the array, and then at the rate. Okay, so it will be counting from the first cell. I don't think so because ultimately it is being taken a string only, isn't it? So we should. Where is your question? Let me see first. Okay. But generally, I think, like in C, we have to put, right, inverted commas. But since shell itself is taking everything in string, isn't it? So it should work in any representation. Okay. So what was this one? Okay, so we have three elements. Then it's going so fast. This is slice bash array. So this is basically we are printing the elements over you can say a range. That means we specify like from which point we want to print up till which point. We are not printing the entire set of elements in the array. So same thing here. We are having like this. Okay, so four elements are there inside the array. Then second array is constructed. So in the second array, what is there? I am picking the elements from the first array. So what was the first array? Air, right? At the rate, dollar will always be there. You have to remember, okay? Air at the rate. Then I specify that from where till where I'll be taking the elements. So I'll be taking from the first index. So this is my first index, right? This is the zeroth index. So first index and then the second index. So that means these two elements are picked and then they are assigned to array 2. So now I want to access or print the elements which is there inside array 2. So array 2 is a subset of taking some few elements from the parent array. And how we are doing that? We are specifying the range, okay, in terms of the indices. So how will I print? I'll be using again a for loop. So I will be iterating and then accordingly I will be printing it. So so this is the It is exactly the same. I've not modified anything. Is the executed code. I think 7, right? Okay, so that's why two elements only are being printed because we specified the index. Okay, and we've stored in that array, and that array is printed. See, the parent array is not printed here. Add is not printed. Add 2 is printed. The where we are storing, you can say the two elements. That array is being accessed and it's being printed. Okay. Okay. So after array, we don't have much to do. We are almost on the verge of completion of this. So the next topic, in fact, you can say we are almost at the end. So the next topic is strings. Okay, so strings, I think so. Most of you must have done earlier. Anyone who can let me know what is a string? You can type it here. I think earlier also you have done string, right? So what is a string? You can all attempt. What is a string? Okay. Yes. Is string a data? Is string? Okay, you people are partially correct that. Okay, data type in C or C++ or in both. Okay, very good. Yes, yes. Okay. So basically, it is a list or groupings of characters taken together that form string, isn't it? So Bash supports so many number of string manipulation operations. Okay, so we already know what is a string. Okay, so let us see one by one the examples. So suppose there are two variables which are storing these strings. So if I want to perform certain operations, let's say I want to compare that these strings are equal or not. So how will I do that? Very easily I can do that. I can use this symbol, isn't it? If they are equal, I can print that they are equal, and if they are not, then I can print that they are not equal. So I've all taken these operations under one program only. Because why to write, isn't it, separately? If suppose I have to check if it is smaller, then this symbols I have to use, okay, for smaller. And these symbols I have to use that whether the string which is available in A, that is ABC, and the string which is available in B, if I have to make a comparison, and if the this string is, you can say, greater than A or A is lesser than B, then I will be printing this statement. Then next is if I want to check the string. Oh yes, yes, it'll be equality. Thank you. Huh? I just skipped that part. It'll be equality because yeah, equal is for assignment only. Okay. Then if I want to check which string is greater, then what I will do, same thing here, but I'll put the greater symbol followed by the slash. Okay. Then similarly, if I have to check that if a string is not empty, then what I can do, I have to just check for one of the variable. So if suppose A is not empty, so how will I check that? I have to use this command, this symbol -n. Okay, so this will check that whether the string contains anything or not. If it does not contain, then it will be, we can print whatever we want. String is not empty, else string is empty. Okay. Then similarly, in this way only, we can check that if a string is empty or not also. Uh, so we can use this one minus z. Okay. So in that way, we have to proceed. Then okay, so these are the ones. Let us try to check. So same thing only is whatever I have spoken. Okay. Same thing only, whatever I've spoken, we have printed it out. Okay. So you can check. These are not difficult. Okay. Accordingly. So let's say one more example is there. If I have to find the reverse of, so how will I be able to find? Okay. So this is the steps that I have written. That first of all, we need to take user input in a string. Okay, and then we need to find the length of the string. Okay, using maybe length function, or maybe then we have to set, let's say, the length, that means from the last point, because you have the let's say the elements there, so you have to print it in the reverse way. So how will you do it? So whenever you'll put in the like loop, it has to be, the loop has to point, the starting point of the loop has to start from last location, and then in the reverse way it has to retrace it back, isn't it? So that is the reason the length is -1, then I greater than equal to 0. That means this loop will be running until and unless the value of I will be greater than 0. But suppose the you can say of the string elements is retraced. That means when you are coming back, then the I value has to be reduced, because the stopping condition here is that when the I will be equal to 0, then it will should, the control should be able to come out from the loop. Okay. Now here what I have done, I have taken, let's say, another variable reverse. What will it do? Basically, keep track of the elements every time. Okay, when the loop I being iterated. Okay, then one more thing you have to remember. Here, one special uh, uh, like this line it has been put. So what this line means, it means that here I have written as that it will extract every this, it should be extract every single character from string. Okay. So first of all, we had uh, uh, a, let's say we have, so we have assigned this to input, let's say an empty string, because here we will be feeding the elements that we will be getting it through from the loop. Then read input is basically used so that the user can supply input from the keyboard, isn't it? Then after that, what are we doing? We are basically computing the length of the string. This dollar hash is basically used for computing the length of the string. We are storing that value here. Then in the loop, what we are doing, we are basically starting from the end of the I mean to say string. We are computing every and then we are iterating this loop until and unless the condition doesn't becomes I value doesn't becomes equal to 0. Okay, so let's say the length of the string is 5. Okay, so every time what will happen, first of all, we are in the, let's say, the end position, then it has decreased to 1 unit, then again that way. Okay, it will keep on going. Then ultimately for extracting or fetching the string at every point of time, for every single character, then I'm using this pattern, the input. Okay, so the input will be from the user. Then I, we already know it is the length. Okay, and then it will keep on going up till where, till it has reached the you can say the first length. Why it's 1 and not 0? Because loop, if you see, it is len minus 1. Okay, so that is the reason, to balance this out, we are having here 1. So ultimately we will be whatever the characters has been assigned here, that we will be able to print, not an assign, but put there. So let us see. I think string 2, this one. Okay, so same pattern, nothing. This is very important in exam. Okay, so you have to practice this very. Okay, so okay. The maybe tomorrow, let me see. I'll be doing a brief overview on functions. Function is not there in syllabus, but I'll just give overview because for your interviews it will be helpful. So one, two maybe problems I'll do on functions, but it's a wrap up of the practical classes, you can say, because syllabus is done from my end. But few programs I can give you to do or by yourself. These I will not help. Okay, everything you have to do. Finding factorial of a number. Other things, whatever I have given, you have to do it. Okay. These are simple programs and these are important also. Whatever I have done, you have to practice this very well for your exam. Okay. Initial size I have given. So RAM, okay. So any query so far you have, you can write to me. And one more responsibility I would like to give is basically for the theory. I mean to say, question papers are there. So maybe one of you, what you can do is you can review the topics which is left, okay, from all those questions, and you can put it up in the group in a compiled way, I mean to say. Okay, so who two students will be doing? Please suggest the names here. Can anyone suggest? Anyone randomly you can suggest, no problem. For the theory, because theory is more challenge. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, anyone else would like to volunteer? Arbas, I think two, if it's then. Okay, Arbas only. Okay, then that is done. So officially we have finished the practical classes. I finished through online only, and I didn't know that how it became possible, or but all thank you to the team, all of you, because through you only I could finish all these. Okay, I never thought that online can be so easy, actually. So all, I mean to say, credit goes to Shankanan, Arbas, Teerth, Aniket, Soumik, because they are the ones who suggested this platform, isn't it? And definitely everyone's interest and, you can say, urge to do something new also brought you here, isn't it? So for everyone, this is a big success, because generally people say that online we can never do it. But I think we have proved, I mean to say, that medium, and moreover we are from IT students, so that thing is changed. I mean to say, no, the whole dimension is changed now. So I think that's it for today. It was a very brief class, but officially it's done from my side for the practicals. Maybe function I will speak, and one two programs I will show for your, I mean to say, knowledge. But apart from that, we are over. And for exams, you have to do only the ones which I have given you. That will be sufficient, and I'll be very happy if you can score well. I think you will be able to score well. I have tried my best how much I can, because so many constraints and so many difficulties we had. It was not a physical class. We The internet problem, sometimes this and that, but still I think we could manage. And don't be thankful. I think it was a team effort, and I think I also learned, you also learned, isn't it? Yeah, and I think, though, if there is a will, there will always be a way to find, I mean to say, solutions to any challenges in. So with that, then I will wrap up for the day. Okay.